Hi there, my name is Rokas and I am a person that likes DnD and I hope that you like DnD too. And today we're gonna try and make ourselves a small puzzle. The whole premise of this video is to make a puzzle that you can use, interact with, and could be a visual representation at your table. Also, that it would look pretty goddamn good. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna make my first design that I ever made, which is this thing, and I know it looks horrible, but I'm gonna make it an upgrade. So what the heck is this? So this is an ancient shish kebab dwarvish puzzle, basically. The whole premise of this is that it has runes on it, you make the combination correctly, and something happens. I do encourage you to get your own meanings of the runes. Maybe you're homebrewing a campaign and doing all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So like, subscribe if you do. If not, I banish you from this realm. And yeah, enjoy this video. So I took out my proc sound that I did not use for a long time and I set it up. You can make a music out of it, you get it? I didn't do that, but yeah, it's heating up, so that's good. So I started to measure out the size of the cubes that I wanted to make, and what I did do was I decided to put 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters because the foam width or height was actually the same size. So that could actually only make it a cube, so it was an easy decision to make. I decided to make 8 cubes of it, 3 for the puzzle and 1 for the top. And what we're gonna do now is try to make a little bit more of a After being a dum-dum, I started to cut out the cubes and the base itself. What I did wrong is I started to eyeball the base, and what it's need to be said here is that if you're trying to make any kind of structure, try to make at least 1 inch space for the miniatures. Don't touch it, man. It's gonna burn. It's gonna burn you. That's gonna burn like a goddamn sun. I was like, you know, I was like doing my thing, and I was like flying like Icarus trying to make this puzzle goddamn great, but guess what? I burned it. After inflicting myself with more pain, I decided to put the holes into the cubes, and for that I used the pencil because, well, it will make the stick go through way better and not damage the foam that much. After that I proceeded to put the cubes on the stick and in the base itself, and I also made a mistake by not doing the same pencil maneuvers on the base, you know. Sometimes that happens. So by putting everything on a stick, I can actually make the rocks texture way more unified, and that is what I wanted to do with this piece. Not maybe looking super realistic in the process, but in functionality and tightness way, it's gonna be just perfect. Now, in the means of the base and the rocks, and just by making rocks themselves, just try to make small levels to them using some X-Acto knife, or if you don't have that at hand, just do that with a pencil and that could actually work just as fine. But yeah, just don't forget to level your rocks and they will look way better and even more realistic, even though this structure is not aiming for that much. So after making all of this, I decided to go along and do the set levels on the rocks.
After I was done finishing up with the rocks, I decided to put the runes, and that made the whole piece look more realistic, I suppose, or even authentic, but opposed to just trying to carve the runes beforehand. And I was actually happy with the result that it gave me, that kind of a not the same look to every single rune, so I was happy about that. After all that, I started to put the hot glue on the bottom and the top of the piece. And I put the gloves because I don't really like to get my hands, burnt, I suppose. And it will help me just by removing the pieces way more efficient and faster. So by not... I tried not to make the hot glue touch the rotating pieces, and for that I use a moving motion with the stick to just circle around and get the excess out of it. And I didn't went overboard with the glue, maybe only on the bottom of it, but that doesn't really matter for the rotating pieces. So I just wanted to make the top and the bottom as firm as I could, so the rotating pieces would, have a tight, snug fit, and they could be rotated around pretty good. I used just normal acrylic paints that I got from an art store, and I just proceeded to paint the piece up with. One mistake that I made here is I didn't mix enough of the same color, and that led me into having two pieces that are not looking that much unified. But in the end, I quite like that idea of making them a little bit more, different from each other. I took a contrasting color like red to accentuate this kind of an infernal look to the piece, and I think these sort of like crafts should have something in there, have something different about them, so I just decided to put more red to it and almost make this kind of ore, effect to it. But after making this, I started to make the gravest mistake, which was putting the paint on the runes, which made the whole thing unreadable and very uneven in means of the thing. So what I did was I proceeded with this stupid idea, thinking it might work, but it didn't, and afterwards I decided to make even worse mistake, which was trying to cover this thing up just by using a dry brush and making it disappear. But it didn't. It made this whole piece look like the rocks would be somehow affected by salt water or something like that. And it was okay, but that was not what I was looking for, and I decided to paint the whole thing up with a little bit of darker paints. So there it was. Look at me doing that, and it actually worked. And if I would want to accentuate that, I will try to make the runes probably more readable and spend more time carving them out. But since I was moving forward, I decided just to put something on the top of it, since the piece was almost done and just needed some wash. So I took the beads that I had from, in my household that I got from my girlfriend. So yeah, just trying to find some jewelers, stuff, or some DIY craft store stuff that you can use, and it can, be used with anything you pretty much want. And surprisingly, this was the hardest part of this whole video. And why was that? Well, it was a long day, and that's basically it. So now, just by looking at this, what I could say is just try to find some contrasting colors to your pieces, because if you would put like a white color there, like a white pebble or something like that, it will not look that great. So yeah, have some contrast in your crafts, and that will make it a little bit more interesting to look for your player's eyes. So as you can clearly see, I'm just washing the whole thing with some Citadel wash, and I know it's not the most optimal thing to do, but I did not make myself home brewed wash. That's not a thing, but basically that's all I had at the time, and I didn't have much time to make my stuff, so I decided just to put the wash, since it's not a huge piece, and just let it dry for a little bit. One thing was that I just didn't want to touch the pebble that much, and I took careful notice of that, but you know, it cannot really tell from the video itself. And the last part was just trying to dry brush it with a little bit of white. I know it's not the most common color to use while dry brushing, but white color really pops the whole thing out, and I used a little bit too much. I got indulgent in that color, and what happened was that I made a couple of small mistakes by trying to accentuate a couple of the rocks and make them, you know, special in this piece. But you know what? I actually like it. It makes the small mistakes makes it a little bit more human, and in the end, I really enjoyed this piece. It looks cool. It looks, you know, like a rock, but also it's a puzzle that you can use. And after you're done, you know, let it dry for a little bit, and just try to rotate the pieces, because the paint can a little bit have this adhesive quality to them. So after you're done and the paint is, you know, dried up, just move it around a couple of times. Just go around it, and before you give them to your players. So there is that. So this is me trying to make those rocks special, a couple of them, and yeah. This is how the puzzle works. You just wrote this thing around, and yeah, hopefully you crack the codes, and I really hope you like this craft. So it means, as I said, just try to rotate it, because it can be stucky a little bit, but after a couple of times when you do this, it's gonna be okay, and you will have a piece that works pretty much fine. So there's that.
Well, hello there, young chap. I see that you went to the end of this video, and I would like to say thank you for that. But if you really like this video, just link down below, like it, subscribe to it, sell your soul to demons in order to get my videos every single week, probably. I don't know, I don't have a schedule. But also, if you want to support me even more, link down below. You will find yourself a miniature, and guess so what? You're gonna find yourself something cool to play with. If you don't have a 3D printer, no worries at all. Go a link down below and you will find a Patreon where you can just give me cash, and I will be awesome. But without no jokes, thank you for being with me this whole time, where I tried to make these amazing little puzzle. So if you really like this kind of content, subscribe. I will not try to make it stupid or whatever, but
I cannot promise. So yeah, bye. I really like this kind of stuff. So seriously, check out the stuff, and I think you're gonna like it. Also, check out the blog. It has a lot of stuff. So yeah, bye. To use these beads that are super colorful. It's not even, so I think I'm gonna just put something here. And, son of a... I hate beads. God damn it. Piece of out here, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna empty out this whole fucking bag of these marbles and stuff. So I'm gonna probably use amberish colors, maybe a little bit of purple. I tried. This is a pain in the but they have a lot of back in, just for goddamn 4 beads. So yeah, or also found some white ones, so at least there's that. Hate beads. I really hate beads because they suck and they're over here, and I need a box for beads because I don't like having a goddamn whatever the is this. Finally. So